everybody, and welcome to our Crystal Series live. My name is Megan. I'm here with our teachers today. We have Julie and Kat down below, and it's going to be a great time. This class is all about science and clear quartz. So I know I really loved the first class in this series yesterday. Not yesterday, but last week with Kat. And I'm so excited to see more and learn more. So, yay! I'll tell you a little bit about who we are, what we're doing. So, we are the Academy of Logic and Light, and we're a community education platform that provides a safe place for people to practice their spirituality without being indoctrinated. We have monthly meetups, both in person and online. We have full moon Zooms, and our next in person is, oh my goodness, I can't think of it. But it's going to be great. You're good. I just totally, everything left my brain. I usually write down a few things, but I did not write down this, and so it's gone. But we're
May 19th.
Okay, May 19th, yes. And we're here on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, all under the name Academy of Logic and Light. You can also find us on academyoflogicandlight.org. We also have Patreon, so if you want to support us over there, you can. Just $5 a month, and it helps kind of pay for our StreamYard and, the things that help us keep producing this stuff. And we're only going to get better from here. So it's going to be great. And if you're interested in teaching with us, you can reach out and on social media, or you can also go to the link below, or you can send us an email at academyoflogicandlight@gmail.com. Yay! Wonderful. Well, I'm so excited to catch this class and learn all of the amazing things. We have lots of links below if you want to find us, follow along, or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And I'll turn the time over to Kat and Julie. Have a great night.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you, Megan. Yay. I'm excited. Class number 2.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for joining. This class will not be as long as last week. And also, I'm excited because it's kind of interesting information here. There's no scientific proof that crystals do anything, when actually there is. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And it's going to be exciting.
It's the logic part of our brains.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Accept. Oh, sorry about that. Alrighty. So let's get into it. Tonight we are going over. Oh, I just lost everything on my screen. One day I'm going to get good at this. I'm so sorry, everyone.
It takes a minute.
I don't know what I did. Okay.
Remember.
Okay, here we go. Got it. All right. Science and quartz crystals. All right. So first, we're going to start with talking about the creation of crystals. The Earth's formation began with a swirling cloud of gas, eventually coalescing into a dense dust bowl. Over time, this condensed into a white, hot, molten ball. As eons passed, a thin layer of this molten material cooled into a crust, akin to the skin of an apple. Beneath the crust lies the mantle, where hot, rich, mineral-rich molten magma continues to churn. Various crystals, like quartz, form deep within the Earth's center from fiery gases and molten minerals. Propelled by the movement of Earth's tectonic plates, these crystals rise towards the surface. Upon meeting solid rock, they cool and solidify, a process that can take a millennia. The speed of the process determines the crystal size, with slow growth yielding larger crystals and rapid growth producing smaller ones. Factors like pauses in growth can lead to unique crystal formations, such as phantom or self-healed crystals. Different crystals form under varied conditions. Aventurine and peridot arise from high-temperature liquid magma, while topaz and tourmaline form when gases interact with surrounding rocks. Some crystals, like aragonite and kunzanite, precipitate from mineral-rich solutions, while others, like chalcedony and amethyst, grow within fissures in surrounding rock, cooling slowly to form geodes. Metamorphic crystals like garnet result from minerals melting and recrystallizing under intense pressure and heat deep within the earth. Calcite and other sedimentary crystals form through the erosion process as mineralized water deposits weathered material, often in layers within the bedrock. These crystals remain attached to the bedrock known as the matrix on which they formed, or become cemented together into conglomerates. Overall, the Earth's geological process gives rise to a diverse array of crystals, each unique within their own formation story. Which really, I know we talked about this last week when we were talking about the history of crystals, really gives head to like how incredible it is that over time, like thousands of years, these crystals form underground and we keep them as little trinkets and treasures to wear or to have in our houses. Like, it's so fascinating to me that the planet exists in that way, I guess.
It's cool. I've always been a rock girly. I ever since I was a little kid collected rocks, but then when I was I think I was like 10, we did this some sort of training, let's say, for lack of a better word, but we slept in the caves overnight. It was so crazy.
Oh, I bet that was so cool.
Yeah, it was super cool.
All right, let's talk about the structure. Crystals, solid bodies with regular geometric shapes, were formed during the Earth's early stages and have since transformed with the planet's evolution. Acting as the Earth's DNA, they hold chemical imprints of its development over millions of years, embodying the powerful forces that shaped it. Crystals vary greatly in their formation, from enduring enormous pressure to growing deep underground in chambers or layering over time. These diverse formation processes impact their properties and functions. Each type of crystal possesses a unique internal structure, characterized by an orderly atomic lattice, which remains consistent regardless of the size or external appearance. This structure serves as the basis for crystal identification and classification. Despite external variations in color and form, crystals with identical internal structures are classified as the same type. Crystal classification primarily relies on internal structure rather than on specific minerals involved, although mineral content can influence a crystal's color. Symmetrical along axes, crystals exhibit regular external planes that reflect their internal order. They are built from 7 possible geometric forms: triangles, squares, rectangles, hexagons, rhombus, parallelograms, and trapeziums, which combine to create various crystal shapes. Despite their outward appearance, a crystal's inner structure remains consistent, with atoms and their components in constant motion, vibrating at specific frequencies to give crystals their energy. Crystals serve as miniature energy storehouses, capable of absorbing, conserving, focusing, and emitting energy, particularly in the electromagnetic spectrum. Their dynamic molecular structure underscores their seemingly serene exterior with particles in perpetual motion. This molecular activity is the source of the crystal's energy and contributes to its diverse properties and functions. All right, so let's get into the energy of it. Crystals have fascinated humanity for centuries, primarily due to their potential for healing and influencing vibrational signatures. The main allure of crystals lies in their ability to interact with the energetic fields of living beings, facilitating an exchange of energy that can promote balance and well-being. At the heart of understanding how crystals work is the understanding that all matter, including our bodies, is composed of energy. This concept is encapsulated by Einstein's famous equation E equals mc squared, which highlights the equivalence of matter and energy. According to Einstein's theory of relativity and quantum physics, matter is essentially slowed down energy, existing on a spectrum of vibrational frequencies. Nikola Tesla further emphasized that the significance of energy and vibration in the universe, asserted that everything in the cosmos, including crystals, possesses its own frequency and vibration. Tesla's research demonstrated that certain forms of energy can influence the vibrational resonance of other forms of energy, laying the groundwork for crystal use and what we use as its healing practices today. Crystals themselves exhibit unique energetic fields characterized by highly organized and stable molecular structure. This structure, known as a lattice, gives crystals their distinct physical properties and durability. Despite their diverse external appearances, crystals share a consistent internal order, reflecting their symmetrical geometric forms and lattice structures that we talked about just a second ago. For example, the quartz belongs to the trigonal crystal system at room temperature and the hexagonal crystal system at temperatures around 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. While the amethyst is composed of silicon and oxygen, with each silicon atom bonded to 4 oxygen atoms in a dihedral arrangement. The purple color of the amethyst is due to the presence of trace amounts of iron and manganese in the crystal lattice. So these two pictures right here are the actual lattice structures of the quartz crystals and the amethyst crystals. And then imagine that stacked upon itself over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you get an actual crystal.
That's cool.
So I kind of demonstrated that here where you have different shapes and then they stack and stack and stack to create a lattice. This is what a lattice looks like in case somebody doesn't know. It's basically the same atomic structure that's just stacked upon itself until it isn't anymore. And that's what creates crystals, which is super cool.
So cool.
The phenomenon of piezoelectricity observed in crystals like quartz further illustrates their energetic nature. When subjected to mechanical pressure or friction, certain crystals emit an electric charge, generating a visible glow in the dark. This phenomenon underscores the dynamic interaction between the lattice structure of the crystal and the external stimuli. Crystal field theory delves deeper into the atomic level interactions within crystals, elucidating their measurable electromagnetic fields and vibrational frequencies. While the intricacies of crystal field theory may require further study in the scientific field, the fundamental premise is clear. Crystals possess unique energetic signatures that can actually influence their surrounding environment. Similar to lasers, crystals emit energy in a coherent and concentrated form, capable of transmitting thought forms and intentions. This energy transmission can impact the vibrational resonance of other objects and beings, beings, facilitating healing, balance, and spiritual growth. By harnessing the innate properties of crystals, individuals can explore the transformative potential of energy work and holistic healing modalities. So in this right here, you can see how in this lattice structure, we're kind of looking at a top-down view of what a lattice structure would look like in a hexagonal crystal. So when there is like pressure, or, you know, like say you're pushing between the earth or something that has a lot of force, crystal, and it moves, it's creating atomic reaction that will actually emit energy, like visible energy that you can see, which we'll talk about in just a second. I'm going to go over some cool facts about quartz crystals, and then we can kind of circle back to that. Quartz crystals are one of the most abundant minerals on Earth. They are found in various geological environments around the world, from igneous rock to hydrothermal veins to sedimentary deposits. They can be exceptionally clear, resembling glass. This clarity is due to their pure composition and regular atomic structure, allowing the light to pass through almost unhindered. And while quartz is often associated with clear or white crystals, it can occur in a wide range of color, including purple, pink, aka rose quartz, yellow, which is citrine, brown or smoky quartz, and even green. These colors are caused by trace elements or eradication during formation. Quartz crystals often exhibit twinning, where two separate crystals grow together, sharing a common axis. This phenomenon can result in intricate and visually striking crystal formations, like the one that you see on the screen right now. Quartz crystals are valuable to geologists as indicators of the geological process. They provide insights into the conditions under which they were formed, such as temperature, pressure, and chemical composition, helping scientists unravel Earth's geological history. We kind of went over this last time, but quartz have been used by humans for eons, for a millennia, since the dawn of mankind, probably. Where ancient civilizations utilized quartz crystals for tools, jewelry, ceremonial objects, and their believed mystical properties, attributing to the health and their protective powers. Their piezoelectric properties make them invaluable to current things that we use in the 21st century. They are used in a wide variety of electronics. They're used in optics because of their transparency, in watches for their ability to keep precise time, and even in construction materials like quartz countertops. Most quartz crystals have a hexagonal exterior crystal structure, meaning they form six-sided prisms with pyramids at the ends. This unique structure is evident in their natural crystal formations. And while natural quartz is abundant, synthetic quartz is also widely produced for industrial and purposes, like in electronics and stuff like that. Because if they make synthetic quartz, which I think this is so fascinating, they can control the frequency and the vibrational resonance that exists within that particular quartz.
Wow.
So yeah, which is something I didn't really know until I was doing some research on quartz specifically. So that does bring into different quartz crystals that you have are going to, based on the quality of the quartz, have a different vibrational resonance to them. So if you have like a big one or like a super clear one, it's going to change the way that they interact with your energy. This is true of all crystals, of course. And also why it's important to make sure that you're sourcing your crystals from a good place, because they can take on energy, especially if it's has a lattice that is like softer. Quartz crystals are pretty strong lattice structure. Other crystals are more influenced. It kind of depends on where they are created within the earth. So if you think about like water soluble crystals, they kind of have a less dense lattice structure than insoluble crystals do. So they tend to be more easily influenced by external like energy or whatever it is, versus something that's super solid is less likely to be heavily influenced. Not that it can't be, but it's not as easily influenced, I guess, if that makes sense.
That's so cool.
So when people are mining for crystals, if the mine is not super ethical or a great place for people to be, think about all the energy that's being absorbed into the crystals that are being mined, packaged up, shipped out to go to these shops, to be dumped into a bucket for you to come across and pick up and put in your pocket. That resonance, that vibrational frequency that that crystal has is now yours. Congratulations.
I have an experience with that.
Yeah, same. And also why, and we'll get into this, I think, in the next episode, why it's important to make sure that you are clearing your crystals or charging your crystals to make sure that as they're absorbing certain energies, you're transmuting them out. Otherwise, they're just going to hold it and then send it back out to you, which is really counterproductive to the whole purpose of having crystal in your space.
That's so interesting. It makes sense though.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of all I have about the science of it. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I do think it's super fascinating. Again, when people say, well, there's no scientific evidence that crystal healing works or that crystals have any influence, and yet we use crystals in a variety of products that we buy because of that lattice structure and its ability to hold energy. And science understands that our body is energy. Like that is the core of what we are, is energy. So there is actually scientific proof to that. So if you're watching this and anybody's ever like, that's not real, it is though. And even before
Look at our
science,
slides.
yeah. And even before science could prove it, I mean, for eons and eons, like we've talked about a million times, people have known that. You can feel it. Otherwise, ancient cultures across the whole planet, without being connected to each other, wouldn't all be using crystals in healing modalities, which is true across every, I mean, we covered that last time. Every ancient culture that there is record of used crystals in some sort of healing modality. You know, and even there is an argument to be made of the placebo effect in it, but there's still value, even if that's true. I don't find that to be true. I find that there is actual energetic resonance that emits from crystals. We just covered that. But even if it was placebo effect, to me, there's still value in that. That's mind over matter. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, I kind of ran through it. Today was a day, and you're tired, and I'm tired, and it's Monday evening. So I did want to talk about a couple of things really quickly. I brought as examples of some different quartz. I don't know if these are going to translate well on the camera. So this is a smoky quartz. And this, if you ever have the opportunity to hold a lithium quartz, which has lithium in its structure, in its lattice structure, to me, even though it's the same structure, it feels soft. Like my reaction to it is that it's like soft, which makes sense because it has lithium in it. But if you ever have the opportunity to hold a lithium quartz, hold it and then let me know if it makes you feel.
Bring it to our next meeting. I want to know.
Okay. If it's like softer than like a regular quartz in your hand. It's definitely a different kind of frequency to me. And these are, I think I was talking to you about this not that long ago, the Faden quartzes. So they are made in like compressed spaces within the earth. So instead of being able to grow equally in all directions like a regular quartz crystal would, where it's kind of like equally fat all the way around, they're compressed. And you can see probably how there's like a gas line that runs through where super pressurized gas ran through the center of the quartz. And they all have this little nodule at the top. These are super great if you're into healing with crystals because they're basically concentrated because they're flattened at directing energy. So like if you have like a shoulder injury, let's say, you can put it and like point the energy out of your body. It's a little bit more, well, a lot of bit more concentrated than like a regular pointed quartz because of that compression is pushing the energy faster out in that atomic structure. So they're kind of difficult to come across, but if you ever come across one, I recommend getting it. Last time I talked about doing a science experiment, I tried to do it earlier and I couldn't make it work, where you can see the piezoelectric reaction. And part of it is because I don't want to rub my crystals together super hard. Even though I know they're so strong and it probably wouldn't do anything to them. But if you have two quartz crystals or you have a quartz like rock that's not at a point, and I have all these little ones, but they're too small for me to like rub together.
Oh, yeah.
If you push them together hard and rub them together, I don't know if you guys can see this, like this, in the dark, it will create a spark. You will be able to see light in between the two crystals. You can also do it if you're brave enough or have a quartz crystal that you don't, that you want to give back to the earth. Let's say if you take like a rock or a hammer and smash it, you'll see the sparks. You'll see the light come off of that pressure heat exchange that happens. There's also some YouTube videos that you can look up, piezoelectric reaction in quartz crystals, where you can see that happening. If you don't believe me or my slides, you can see it for yourself.
But that does bring up a good point. Like, what happens? What do you do when your crystal breaks? Like, if it's like a piece that you love, but it like cracked or something happened to it.
Personally, what do? I put it in a plant. Like, I put it on the like dirt by a little plant. I'll ask my plants, like, how are you feeling? Do you want some support from this crystal? And some plants really love it. Other plants really don't. I think it can be really like intense for plant energy.
Yeah.
But I have had that happen, and usually I'll put it in, like my inside planters, but also on my patio, I have a planter box where I grow strawberries, and all the way around the planter box, I have crystals and stones that are like that. Either ones I've collected that I'm like, I love you so much and I want to keep you, but like I have so much of you, you can live outside, or things that I've broken that are around.
Yeah.
The box. Yeah.
I like that, giving it back to the earth in a good way.
Yeah. And I also know people that turn it into that turn things like that into art, like getting a small canvas and like gluing it onto the canvas and then hanging it, like a reminder of the crystal, but also you get to keep the vibrational frequency. And then also it's just kind of like a reminder of how fragile or delicate things can be, even when they seem so strong.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And what is on the agenda for next week?
So next week, that's a good question. Would you rather talk about like clearing and charging type of topic, I guess? Or would you rather talk about like the different properties of crystals and how the shapes and like all the different shapes and how they affect energy?
I say we do that, and then we do the clearing. Like kind of go from the very beginning of cultural to science to property, plus logical into it.
Okay. That's what I was kind of thinking about too.
Sweet.
Going through the properties next week. So yeah, that'll be cool. And colors, what colors mean, all those types of things. It'll be fun.
Yay, awesome. Well, thank you again for sharing, and thank you, Megan. And then if you are on our social media, May 19th is our next in-person event, and that is with Danielle Pitcher from Wild Wellness, and that is about womb healing. And then we've got our full moon event, and then we're going to be in June. We'll be doing human design with Lindsay LaFleur, which will be super fun.
Yay!
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining us, and we will see you guys next Monday.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.